And now, clearly, the Arctic blast has caused significant disruption right across the country. Long stretches of the M25 motorway have been jammed. Drivers in the southeast are being asked by National Highways not to travel unless they absolutely have to. People have been describing to Sky News how they've been stuck in their cars through the freezing night.
Been an absolute standstill for over 3 hours. So it's pretty disheartening. I mean, the UK, we're just rubbish. We are rubbish when the weather gets extreme, aren't we? We really are bad. No, so I'm meant to be getting home for Nottingham, home to Nottingham. So maybe I'll definitely get home for Christmas. Maybe that's the plan. We've got a new plan.
Big problems at the airports as well. Both Gatwick and Stansted had to close their runways yesterday to clear the snow. They are open again now, but with reduced flights and a huge backlog of waiting passengers. Travellers are being warned to check with their carrier before leaving for the airport. Well, let's speak to someone who finds themselves at Gatwick Airport. Bethany Wotton has been stranded there and she joins us on the line. Bethany, good to talk to you. First things first, where were you supposed to be going?
To Bali.
To Bali, and instead you're trapped at Gatwick. I mean, how long have you been there for?
I've been here around 17 hours.
17 hours?
Yes. Stranded here.
What kind of communication have you had from the airline and from the airport? Have they given you any idea of when you might be heading off?
Nothing so far. We spoke to some staff when we came back through customs yesterday. They said to go back to your airline desk in the morning around 8 o'clock and they'll tell us some more information, but that's all we've heard. And we couldn't get any hotels last night as everywhere was fully booked. Everyone's in the same position. Everyone has just been sleeping on the floor.
So how many of you are there, Bethany? Who's travelling with you at the moment?
I'm with my boyfriend at the moment.
And how have you guys managed to cope? I mean, have you managed to grab any sleep yourselves?
Not really. I've had a couple of hours, but everyone's in the same situation. There's lots of people, children as well, and everyone's just trying to get some sleep. But it's really cold as well in here.
I can only imagine. I mean, have you at least been provided with some teas, coffees, food, anything like that?
No, nothing. Haven't had really any help from any staff. Can't really find anyone to speak to. Just been a bit of a nightmare.
So, Bethany, was this you heading off for the Christmas period, or is this just a quick trip you were planning?
No. I was moving to Australia, so we were going to Bali for 2 weeks for Christmas and then heading out to Australia.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Yes.
So what's this going to do for your plans? I mean, if you can't get away today, what does that maybe mean for the trip to Bali?
Yeah, so our trip, we will have to miss out parts of our trip that we've already booked. I've also had to cancel some things we've already tried to book already. I'm not sure if we'll get any money back from the airline, as they said they wouldn't even offer us money for a hotel for the night. Is there
any thought in your mind of just jacking it in, leaving the airport, going home and getting yourselves warm and maybe getting some sleep?
Yes, I did think that last night before I even tried to sleep. But going to try again today, and then maybe we will have to go back.
And I suppose, Bethany, you must have been looking forward to this trip for quite a long time.
Yes, and obviously we've already said bye to everyone at home, so...
Oh, dear. Well, look, I will be keeping my fingers crossed, Bethany. I mean, moving to Australia is a big old trip in and of itself, but to miss out on the Bali leg. Look, well, stay warm and keep in touch, and look, let us know if you manage to get on that plane sometime today. I hope you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You take care, Bethany. Well, let's bring in Sky's Becky Cottrell at Victoria Station in London. Victoria, good to see you. What is the state of play in terms of transport this morning, Becky? I mean, I know myself from driving in this morning, the roads are absolutely treacherous, and frankly, people, if they can avoid driving today, really should do. But what about the public transport aspect?
Well, certainly if you're trying to get the train, you're likely to face problems today, particularly if you're here in the southeast or London. I'm at London's Victoria Station. Many of the lines here suspended. The companies that operate up here, Southeastern, Southern Rail, the Gatwick Express, they've all had problems with snow on the tracks overnight. As I say, having to cancel services today. They are trying to get them back up and running, but it's likely the disruption will continue for much of the day. And it's, of course, not just the conditions on the tracks that are the problem. They're also trying to put on replacement bus services, but if the conditions on the road simply aren't good enough, then that is not going to be possible either. As you mentioned, drivers also facing a lot of problems. We are getting into Monday rush hour now, and as you said, the advice in the southeast, simply don't travel unless you absolutely have to. Reports of drivers stuck on the roads in the snow, and as they're trying to clear that, clearly some of the backlog may clear, but it's going to continue for much of the day. So really, particularly if you're here in the southeast, I would stay home unless you absolutely have to travel.
Becky, thank you.